September 4th, 2008, 9 months ago today, Mr. Neal Sweeney was murdered at his place of business at the Retail Fuels Marketing at 3158 South 108 East Avenue. At the time that occurred, the initial motive for the crime was unknown, and from our experience, it appeared to be a contract-type killing. As you all are aware, the suspect entered the business, went directly to the victim's office, shot Mr. Sweeney, fatally wounding him. And the suspect was described as a person that saw him exit the building as a black male in his early 20s, 5'10" to 6 foot, 150 pounds, wearing a hoodie and sunglasses, and he fled in a white commercial van. Since that time, 9 months ago, the gentleman behind me had been very, very busy. These detectives, along with detectives of SID, have literally investigated hundreds of leads across the country trying to determine a motive for the Sweeney homicide and trying to solve this case. Now, from the outset of the investigation, because of the nature of the case, the details of the what happened in Retail Fuels Marketing that morning were closely guarded. And we did that purposely to determine if we came across a suspect that knew more than we knew, they probably had information about the crime. Now, I want to thank the Sweeney family and the business partners of Neal Sweeney for providing us a lot of information about his business dealings and possible motives in regards to the perpetration of this crime. They were invaluable in allowing us to go in and look at business records, talking about personal relationships, and without those individuals, both the Sweeney family and the business partners and his business associates, a motive would probably not have been established as well as we did, and certainly speeded the effort to us to get to where we are today. In late January this year, an individual detectives talked to provided specific and detailed information about the crime and the motive. At that time, it was determined the motive was indeed a contract killing, and it was initiated over a business dispute over the sale of gasoline through Mr. Sweeney's company to other individuals. On February 4th of this year, the suspect vehicle was located, recovered, and processed for evidence. It was determined it had been stolen out of Muskogee, Oklahoma, 2 days prior to the murder. All evidence recovered during the processing of that vehicle is being held in case file right now. Ultimately, it was determined that the shooter, or trigger man as it were, in this contract homicide, local individual, Tarico Bethel, a black male, 222 of 86, 6'1", 160, black and brown hair. Mr. Bethel has been in custody at David L. Moss since 2/27/09 on unrelated charges of assault and battery on a police officer, possession of a controlled drug, and a variety of traffic charges on an arrest that night in our city. He pled guilty to these charges and has been awaiting transport to DOC, Department of Corrections, to serve a 3-year sentence running concurrently with a revocation of a suspended sentence for false impersonation. In most recent times, during the past week, TPD homicide detectives, SID detectives, the District Attorney's Office, Tulsa County District Attorney's Office, Tim Harris's office, and the U.S. Attorney's Office have been working together to try to perfect the warrant that was served this morning. And as of this morning, Mr. Bethel was served with the first-degree murder warrant relating to the Neal Sweeney homicide. I want to emphasize at this time that this investigation is still ongoing. It is not over. We are continuing to pursue other leads and leads that we know that exist right now that may
lead to charges of other individuals. I'm not at the liberty to go into that any much more detail than that, other than it is an ongoing investigation. The warrant for Mr. Bethel this morning is not the end of the Neal Sweeney investigation. I would like to try to answer some questions here in just a moment. Some of those questions you may ask may be of a sensitive nature that I cannot. I will try to be as candid as I can with you. I want to reemphasize, too, that there still is a $25,000 reward offered by the Tulsa Crime Commission in conjunction with the Retail Fuels Marketing Association for information leading to the arrest and conviction of persons responsible for the death of Mr. Sweeney. And obviously, if we believe this to be a contract killing, there are in fact other individuals related to the death of Mr. Sweeney. Anyone with further information on this case should call Crime Stoppers at 596-COPS. I think we have up on the screen, as you see now, a composite of Mr. Bethel at the time of the crime, and also his booking photo that was taken on 2/27/09 when he was booked into David L. Moss. Again, the detectives behind me deserve really the gratitude of the citizens of Tulsa for working so hard on this case and bringing some closure to it, although I hope it's not complete closure to the case, and they deserve all of our appreciation and credit for what is being done here today.